Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 148 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. So I hope each and every one of you listening is having a great day already. And I'm so glad to be with you doing whatever it is you're doing. I'm glad you're here, and I thank you for listening. So we've been talking a little bit about how we talk to ourselves and the thoughts that we have and how they affect us. There's one thing I know for sure. There's only one of you. That's it. And sometimes we forget how unique each one of us is. There's no one in this world just like you with your talents and your personality and your abilities. There's just you, and you have one life. Are you making the best of it? Are you creating that life? Or are you just managing your circumstances? Are you living through someone else or for someone else? Listen, you aren't your spouse. You aren't your kids. You aren't your behavior, and you're also not your past. You are the result of a series of decisions you've made up to today. And next year, you're going to be a result of a series of decisions you start making today. How are you showing up? Ed Lattimore recently said, a lot of people think the greatest adventure of their life is just going to happen. Well, it won't. You either take risks and bet on yourself, or you wake up one day old and full of regret. Now, that may seem harsh, but he's right. Have you done the things you wanted to do? Are the things you're currently doing in line with the things that you want? That's always a good question to ask yourself. Are the habits I have right now creating a life that excites me, or am I just letting life happen to me? Maybe you're in a career you love, but you still want more. That's how it works, isn't it? I say that because no matter where we are in life, we're designed to want more, to constantly keep growing. And sometimes we get to a certain place and we think, well, this is it. This is where I'll be. And then once you've been there for a minute, you start thinking maybe you want something a little different. I remember when I was selling real estate, I loved it so much I thought I would do it forever. And then I started wanting something different, something more. So I started building homes myself with my dad. So fun. And that turned me on to interior design. And that's when I got my bachelor's degree in interior design. And of course, here I am with my podcast and adding to my design talent stack by taking a course in feng shui. So when I get a calling, I answer it. I don't want to have any regrets, and I don't want to hold myself back. Are you holding yourself back? That makes me think of a story that I read recently about there was a 63-year-old grandmother named Laura Schultz. Now, back in 1977, she heard screaming coming from her driveway. When she got outside, she realized her grandson had been messing with his car, and it had rolled on his arm. He was stuck under the car. Laura was petite, and she'd never lifted anything over 50 pounds in her life, but she lifted that 2,000-pound car right off her grandson. And after this whole thing went down, a man named Charles Garfield, author of Peak Performance, read about Laura in the National Enquirer. Well, he managed to get an interview with her, even though she doesn't like to talk about it. You see, she didn't like to talk about it because it challenged her beliefs about what she could and could not do. She would say, if I was able to do this when I didn't think I could, what does that say about the rest of my life? Have I wasted it? Well, that story doesn't end there. Garfield actually convinced her that her life wasn't over and she could still do whatever she set her mind to do. She had always been passionate about rocks, but her parents couldn't afford to send both her and her brother to school, so her brother took precedent, and she never went until Garfield talked her into going back to school at 63, which she did. And then she got her degree in geology and ended up teaching at a local community college. At 63! What are you waiting to do? Is there a dream you've put on hold? No one can do it but you, and no one's going to do it for you. Are you maybe hiding behind the thoughts that you tell yourself in your head? The thoughts like, well, I am too old. I am not smart enough. I can't because I don't have enough education. I can't because it's too late. I can't because that ship has sailed. Well, listen to me. You are not your I am statements. I promise you, you aren't. Even though your actions a lot of times are a direct result of your I am statements, those are two powerful little words when you combine them together, I and am. You can use them to beat yourself up, or you can use them to create the life you're meant for. I am capable of anything I set my mind to. I am someone who enjoys eating healthy. I am beautiful. I am worthy just because I was born. Now compare how you feel differently than when you say something awful about yourself, like I am disgusting. I had a friend say that because she didn't like the way her body looked. Can you imagine saying that to your sister or your best friend, someone you love? No, of course you wouldn't. So don't talk to yourself like that either. You matter. Your thoughts matter. And the words you use to talk about yourself, they matter a lot. So how about your I can't statements? Your actions are often based on those as well. I can't stop eating. I can't exercise the way I used to. I can't until the kids get older. I can't decide. I can't stop being late. What kind of action do these kind of statements predict? Not good. We wonder when life is going to change and why we aren't thriving, when if we're really being honest, we do just enough to get by. We give in to the temptation of overindulging rather than showing our body how worthy it is. We hang out in our comfort zone, just justifying our actions because everyone around us is doing the same thing. You want change? Work on your I am statements. You want to do more than survive? You want to actually thrive? Work on your I can't statements. You're worthy of doing that. If you want something in life, if your dream is to have a certain something, then it's meant for you, but you have to show up. You have to take risks, and you have to never quit. Whatever it is, fill your life with decisions you won't regret. You'll never regret saving money for your future. You'll never regret eating healthy. You'll never regret learning a new skill, and you will never regret showing up for yourself. My challenge to you this week is to catch yourself at least once with an I am statement that isn't serving you and turn it into a positive, and then catch an I can't statement and turn it into an I can. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.